I'm a beast, got jungle fever. Don't smoke, but a breakdown. The chiba. Feel my senorita, you should meet her. Buenos dias, clean cut, bitch impressed with stock beamers. I want property, dual citizen with the visa. My niggas Ninja Turtles, call me Tracy Sensei. Knock him, mold me a nigga, get out.
Hello, this is Bella Martrice. Welcome to Ghetto Poet Podcast. I am live at Edge Studios and I'm your host. Say hi, Paul.
Hello, Miss Bella.
So, Paul is one of the producers here. I'm the executive producer. That is me. You feel me? So, anyway, we have a special guest today. We have Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me out to be in your podcast. I really much appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in this weather because it's been raining cats and dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I know it was kind of like hopping to skip across that good old Bay Bridge.
Yep, and then, believe me, I got all wet getting here. So, it's crazy, but I'm glad to be here.
You got that fly ass gear wet. You got what? 212 Music Therapy.
Yeah, coping and creativity. Yep, my own brand. So I was learning if you got something, you got to promote it. We quick to wear Nike and everybody else and Reebok or whatever it may be. But when it comes to promoting yourself and your brand, a lot of people won't do it.
Oh, I do it. No, I feel you. See, I got my poet earrings on, my poet necklace. You feel me? That's what's up. So tell us more about music therapy and who and what, Stu and Stu, the origins. I want the whole bust down, you know?
The whole bust down. Okay.
The whole bust down.
Let's start. Where do we start? So, it wasn't just me by myself. Right now, it's me by myself. So basically, Stu, short for studio. So the music therapy part is everybody got a connection to music, whether it's gospel, whether it's rap, whether it's rock, alternative, R&B, whatever you think it may be that you like. It's our therapy because we listen to it when we depressed, when we happy, when we clubbing. When you go to church, it's always some type of music that you can connect to. You know how boring it would be if you watch movies with no music added to it, or you went to clubs with no music. Right. Music is life. So therapy thing is like people don't realize that music could be a therapy. Mm-hmm. So that's how I'm able to connect with the youth because I use music as a tool to connect with them. So the first thing when I wanted to start my organization, I was thinking of something that I'm good at doing, which is music, and it connects with everybody. You think about the biggest artists in the world, like the Michael Jacksons and things like that, right? He can go to China. He can go anywhere. They don't even speak English. The people will pass out because they connected with him through music, right? And everybody, some way, somehow, is connected to music, right? So, the coping and creativity part is just being able to be creative, create programs. So I got my degree in recreation, youth development, and programming. So that part was just me being able to create programs for the youth. So music therapy is my bread and butter, and the creativity part is, the counseling part, the financial, awareness, and the mentorship, health and wellness, things I build, beyond the music therapy part. So the 212 is two individuals come together as one to form one vision. So
that's hella dope. Say that again.
Two individuals come together as one to form one vision. So 212. And people get it mistaken for New York, because New York, the area code is 212.
Yeah.
So they like, oh, this was a hip hop starter. I was like, no, it has nothing to do with hip hop. It was just a number, But yeah, so it's been a journey. I received about 6 awards so far. Senator Nancy Skinner awarded me twice. Mayor Shane Tao.
Say that again,
Senator Nancy Skinner.
Okay, I've seen that online.
Mayor Shane Tao, Oakland. Richmond Mayor Eduardo Martinez. Mm-hmm. I got one on the way, but I want to talk about it's not here yet. I also been awarded by the California State, Treasurer's Office, I think. Secretary of State. I'm sorry. So sorry. Secretary of State. So it's just the work I'm doing is basically like I'm glad to get awarded for the word of mouth for the work I'm doing in the community with the youth. So it has nothing to do with me. It's me work with the youth. So yes.
What's your relationship with music? Like, how did you, first of all, where you from?
Where I'm from Oakland, California. So I grew up in Oakland. So I grew up in the 90s, which was a crazy time. And my relationship with music is me growing up in the 90s was the best era of music. So I grew up hearing the Tupacs, the Biggies, the the Ice Cubes and things like that. So I have an older sister, so she was really into the music scene. She would go to Durant, bring back these cassettes. Back then, you could buy a single,
Yeah.
and play the same song all day. So back then, we didn't have Instagram and computers and things like that. So people just played the same tape all day, every day.
Right. Or listen to the radio too.
And listen to the radio, yeah. So
Yeah.
Cameo was big in the community. That's when they really was doing the outreach and really going to people's spots and hoods and being out there at block parties and stuff. So music was really big. Like I remember when the Hot Boys, like when they first took out like 98, 99, I remember coming to Oakland too and how crazy it was. But
I went to that concert.
you went to that concert
Yeah.
when they did the donut and everything happened. They got shut down. And people was fighting and all
Yeah,
that crazy.
throwing chairs and shit. I was there. That was actually my last rap concert I went to.
Really?
Yeah, because I was
that-
like, I'm not going to no more of this fuckery ever again in life. You didn't feel like you was about to die that day?
Yeah,
that night?
Yeah, I think they didn't even come back to Oakland after that. Like, I think that was it for them for a while because you didn't hear about them coming back because Oakland.
Them niggas was jumping on the stage. That was crazy.
Right, but then also I heard from that right after that when they did Everybody Get Your Roll On, what was they doing in the videos? They're doing sideshows. They took that culture they seen out there and they implemented it in their videos. And they started doing stuff. So I know they'll talk about that a lot. A lot of people come to the Bay Area, see what we do, and they take it and make it their own.
Yeah.
So I noticed that too.
So what was your childhood like? Like how did it shape you today? Like what was it like and how did it shape you today?
So my childhood was I want to say my childhood was good, but me growing up, in Oakland, I seen a lot. So at the age 5, one of my earliest memories, I seen somebody get killed, so during like the, I wouldn't say the dope era, people were selling crack and this and that. I had a lot of family members that was on drugs, so me seeing things that I really didn't realize was like going on, like really shaped me to the person I am today because I'm so glad and fortunate that my parents were able to move me out that, environment to see that something was wrong with that. Because sometimes we grew up in neighborhoods and things like that. What we see, we think it's the norm. Hearing gunshots and police sirens and people getting hurt or people on drugs is not a normal thing. Because you can move to a whole different community, not
Right.
far, and not see half them things.
Exactly.
And I didn't notice that until I moved out to the community. It was like, no more gunshots, no more police sirens. Like,
Right. No more helicopters?
no, hell yeah. It's like, that became a normal thing. Like, I stopped getting down hearing gunshots. Like, I was just like, oh, they shooting again. Why would a kid be...
That is
You supposed to get down.
right.
You be catching
I've
straight.
been through that.
See, you just like, oh, they shooting where? Oh, damn. You just be
Right.
like, it become regular.
Yeah.
You don't be, it's like, it don't even phase you no more. Imagine in a different community, people, oh my God, was that shooting? It'll be a different type of experience because when I stopped hearing that stuff or started seeing that thing, I started realizing how bad it really was. Like,
Right.
hearing it so often was like, it didn't bother me. Police sirens even stopped even bothering me. Like, usually people all walk outside, see what's going on. And then like, man, stay in here. Don't worry about that. It's going outside. That was normal.
Right. And one thing that you addressed, you said coping and creativity as far as your nonprofit organization. So do you think that having been raised in Oakland, like, made you want to create your nonprofit organizations? Like, how did those experiences like inspire you? Because you work with youth, correct?
Mhm.
And that's a dope concept. I feel like and I always say this when I meet people, it's like you're doing like some dope things that I know growing up or whatever, like who would ever thought like our age group and stuff like that will be like having something like that. Music, therapy, and taking hip hop culture and all those type of things, poetry, and merging it is with healing. Like that's so dope. Like
Thank you. Well, I seen that it was healing because it healed me. Because when I started getting into music, I was able to write, raps and things like that, and start getting into like, making beats a little bit, but really just recording myself with Pro Tools and GarageBand and any kind of DAWs out there. And like you said, being able to cope in the creativity part really came from being able to build. So it's like I see what youth are interested in, whether it's poetry, whether it's
Right.
rap, whether it's like I just did a whole track in Spanish, on Friday. So just like riveting into, I try to really adapt to the needs. Like I meet youth where they are. So I don't allow any cussing or gang activity or anything
Right.
in my music because I'm really trying to teach them something. How I'm gonna teach them something if I'm glorifying the negativity? So I want
Right.
them to think outside the box. I want them to really express who they are. You still gonna talk about how you came up, things you've seen, and things like that, but it's really use your use this as an expressive way to heal.
Right.
Talk about your traumas. Talk about things you see growing up. Talk about how you feel when your cousin passed. You know,
Right.
parents on drugs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you seeing these type of things growing up. So now we can write free form poetry or spoken word, and we able to get that type of healing and pain out. So that's the reason why this organization grew so big and be able to get awarded because people actually was expressing themselves using music as a tool to get these emotions and things they've been holding in that they never even said before. People thought that never was inside of them. Yes.
I know your family hella proud of you. They be like,
I'm trying. I'm trying. Within the last year, believe it or not, I've only been doing this for like a little over a year, so I'm
What?
almost a year and a half, and I was able to build all the stuff. So working over 15 contracts and get it recognized and do things, and it's God's work. When you actually
That
working
part.
with the people,
Right.
it's for the people, and who else? Our kids. Kids are our future. We don't think about it. We already grown. They're gonna grow up and be our doctors and work in the stores and do everything. Pretty much take care of us. So if we don't teach them, who gonna teach them? I feel like it's a big disconnect, with older, adults and the youth now because ain't no type of respect. And plus, why they gonna listen to us? Because half of them telling them don't do something, and we're doing it.
right.
And they get to see it. Instagram is telling it all. So it's no more privacy.
Right. So what do you think? I know building organizations, especially like something so massive like that, like what do you think has been some of your defining character traits or to help you manifest that? Because that's not easy at all. Like anybody who's ever tried to build an organization, I've failed quite a few times, like
Right.
building organizations and what would you give, like what advice would you give to people that are trying to manifest their dreams? Because that's not an easy task at all.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy, and me just talking about it, making it seem like it's an easy thing. No, I had a partner, that I work with. He decided to leave because it got too hard. Financially building any type of nonprofit or anything that you got to invest your money in, spend time rather than working a 9 to 5, make money, know your paycheck and things like that. When you on the grind and you building something, it's called sacrifice. Without sacrifice, it's not going to be a reward. You got to give away something to build to get to the top. Everybody that's successful. You talk about the Steve Jobs. You talk about the what's it? Facebook. Mark Zuck was who want to build Facebook?
Uh,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody that ever built something, Elon Musk, you have to go through these things. You're gonna start off with a lot of people, right? And eventually, it's probably gonna be you because it's about who wanted more, right? Usually, people start off with a team. Usually, people, they see this idea and they got this burning desire to keep on moving forward and forward. And some people eventually fall off because that's not what they want. They want to get rich quick scheme. But it's like if music is in you or building an organization or really helping the people, you're gonna do it whether you broke or rich. And it's about consistency. It has nothing to do with a trick, nothing like that. It's about seeing it through. So if you build an org like I did, and I went through a lot of things and phases, and people saying, "Well, you charge too much." Well, how is it gonna help my kids? Well, I don't know if this. So it's like once I got a contract, right, I took it 100% serious, right? And from there, working with the kids, building with them, I'll bring food. Kids will get shoes in my program.
that's what's up.
I give back. I believe in giving back. And once they see that I actually care about the youth, it's each one teach one. Then they say, "Hey, I know about this program over here." So I just start like I don't even promote it no more. I just do my thing on Instagram. People come to me now. I remember days I sit at the keyboard and just send 1,000 emails. Sometimes I might get 2 back, but now it's like I gotta tell people no because I don't have the capacity. I'm already working Monday through Friday, 2 and 3 different sites, and it's rough because you got to pay for so much, Like I said, I give back shoes, food. I got to pay overhead. I got to pay my accountants. It's little things about business that you got to learn. You got to spend insurance. It's little fees here and there that you got to have money and you got to have patience for it. But also, you got to have the time. I still got to mix and master. I still got to create the curriculum. I still got to drive to the sites. I got kids at home. I got a home life. So it's a sacrifice. The reason why I do it is because I love doing it.
That's what's up. What would your perfect, like you just said that there's more that you would want to do. What more would you want to do? Like, what would it look like? Like right now, if $10 million fell in your lap. Like, what would you do with it?
That's good. Right now we in the studio, so I want to open up my own center.
Okay.
Right. So right now I'm mobile. I work at a lot of sites and things like that. Me to be at a a centralized location to where I can bring my program. I don't have to go nowhere. Basically, I want people to come to me. I could be in one location, have multiple people working with me to where I can kind of back off it because I do everything. I'm very hands on.
Okay.
So I would want to teach people my skills and be able to share some leadership and let them do their things their way, but also use their mind, be very creative. Like have engineers or have counselors, have all the pieces together to keep building this curriculum that I already built, that I already wrote, and implement and share with the youth. So I can have youth in there that can each one teach one. Oh, an engineer teaches county engineer. So everybody will have a skill to the point where that the youth are teaching youth how to write. They're teaching each other how to record. So guess what? You can make money, them skills, it can turn into performances, turn into making songs, it can turn into, producing, it can turn into putting stuff on Apple Music, iTunes, and all be positive under one roof. It'll be like building a collective of talented individuals. So it's like, it would be like an academy. It was like they came here and now they the biggest producer out the Bay Area because they at a young age, they got the skills and everything they needed. So it would just be kids of the future and we getting older. So it's only so long we can keep going because eventually the age gap, you're going to need somebody to replace you, to continue to keep doing your mission.
That's what's up. What do you think is the most valuable lesson you learned so far?
The most valuable lesson I learned so far is consistency. When you feel like giving up, that's when you shouldn't give up. Don't give up on yourself. It was times where I felt like it was too hard. It was times where I felt like I'm overwhelmed. It was times where I feel like some things were challenging. But if you just get up and you take it one day at a time, one step at a time, you will make it through the day. Each day gets a little bit better. If you let money throw you off, it will throw you off. If you let people nasty attitudes throw you off, it will throw you off. But if you stay consistent to your mission, God will do the rest. You'll be blessed because it's like you got to believe in yourself first. And if you don't believe in yourself first, anybody can take anything to get you thrown off. Like, oh, what you doing? It's not making no money. You should come over here and do this. You do work and live in somebody else's dream. Then something that you already put your heart, soul, blood, and sweat and tears in, and now you have no say so. So it's like if I was doing something, so when I left my job, I was working at juvenile hall working with the kids, and I'm doing this. I had to know. Ain't no going back. Ain't no going back. So if ain't no going back, I have to put my heart, soul, and sweat, blood, and tears into this. It has to work.
Right.
So just don't give up on yourself. Stay consistent and have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself when nobody else does. Most people ain't gonna see your vision.
Right. I think that's one of the hardest things is like navigating like family, navigating friends, navigating social statuses, you know what I'm saying? Those type of things. And I think that when we are especially having such like a raw type of dream, like music and therapy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you a black man coming out of East Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be like, yeah, okay, you gonna take this rap and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, nigga. You know, right. And then for you to manifest it, but it's like I remember just even me being a poet, it was like people be like, oh, you're a poet? Oh, you're an educator? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right, it was like I had to, I think building a self-esteem, I think that's something you have to keep building, especially when you're building, trying to when you're manifesting your visions and your goals and your, is that you have to keep building on top of your self-esteem. Like, it's not just, one time, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, God too, like God put us in, you know what I'm saying, like positions to where we're blessed, to where we could bless other people. So what has been one of your most rewarding moments with your organization?
One of my most, I have a few. So the most rewarding moment is actually when the youth reach back out. Even though I have like 6 awards, I got one more in the way, and working with, senators and mayors and things like that, it's the kids, because it wouldn't be possible without the youth. When the youth reach out to me, because some of them thought about committing suicide, some of them really reach out like, record this song. Some things I do not even for money. Right. I will do a recording session. I will go out to eat with kids. I will spend an extra 2 hours talking to a youth after school because a crisis is going on in their life. And people think because the youth are young, they're not going through anything. Right. They're going through all kind of stuff. Worse than we do when we was younger because they're exposed to more. So my most rewarding moments is for them to be share with me stuff they wouldn't share with their parents. They wouldn't share with their friends. They'll tell me stuff. Some of them are confused. When I say confused, were they like boys or girls? Like they'll tell me like, hey, this happened to me. You know, they would say like I got molested before. That's why I walked out the room. I'd be like, huh? So it's like stuff I have to, mentally get myself together, because some of these conversations, they're, when you become a role model to the youth,
Right.
They will share with you things that they never talk because they feel comfortable. So then you have to be a good example and help to talk them through, like let them know it's okay. You was young, it's things that happen. I understand that this happened, but so you have to constantly be positive, even when you trying to digest what you just
Right.
heard. So it's it's when you get home, you gotta learn how to debrief from all that. That's the hard part. The rides home.
Yeah, because then you be worried about
Yep.
the youth. There's a lot of violence. There's, like you said, molestation. Like they're going through like a lot of different drugs now that
Yeah.
we didn't have. It's like I feel like bring the crackheads back, cause
Right. At least crackers can work and be productive and get, you can hire them. But now it's like the drugs slow people down and they dying now.
they
Like,
just you could
crackheads live
touch it and
forever.
die, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. It's like we was just talking. Me and a friend of mine, it was just talking about like going out like before, like I remember OG Black Saturdays and
Mm.
different things, and I'm thinking like, damn, that was wild then. But imagine now with the type of drugs that they have out, like this fentanyl, like people are doing fentanyl, people are doing meth, like that wasn't in the black community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like we grew up on like Tupac, people was into like, oh, okay, smoking weed, drinking
Smoke
Hennessy.
weed, drink, yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, pop Molly, pop bars and all this type of shit. Like they have a lot of drug influences to where I feel like our generation, we had the crack epidemic. It was like we don't want nothing to do with drugs. So I think it's a difference, especially like. So is your organization based in Oakland, or you said you mobile?
I'm mobile, so most of the
Okay.
work I do is in Oakland. So I got a few contracts. Like I work in Richmond. I got some things coming
Mhm.
up in different cities, Hayward and other surrounding areas. So but I wanted to get back was to Oakland because that was what I experienced a lot, and that's where I started as my roots. My mom born and raised in Oakland. I grew up in Oakland. My dad moved to Oakland from San Diego, Southern California. So he was there since he was 18. So like a lot of my family is there.
Mm.
So grew up like in the same neighborhood. So it's like with the organization, the first thing I thought about was like, where do I want to work? How can I start something and feel like I don't know, cause like Oakland is like a crazy place now. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. It's like when you go out there, it's kind of like beat up now. A lot of trash everywhere. It's crazy. Like when I was driving, like East 14th and things like that, people have pride in the community. Like it was actually built up. You can go downtown, see a lot of stores, nice, see stuff boarded up. So,
Right.
and it's like I wasn't used to seeing that. And it's like they're trying to bring it back, but it's like damage is done. Let's talk about San Francisco.
Oh my
You go to
gosh,
San
yeah.
Francisco, Westfield, everything is all a
Everything
little
on-
crazy. It's a
yeah.
ghost town now.
Right.
It ain't thriving like it used to be no more. It knows to be a nice place to walk around downtown and people, having fun and you buy food up the corner doing now it's
You know what? What are the youth doing? Because I remember like being a hella young, and we will always be like, "Oh, let's go downtown. We're gonna get something to eat.
Exactly.
We about to go to the mall." Like, what are they doing?
staying inside,
Playing video
games
Yeah.
and making Instagram videos and smoking and
Dancing and shit.
dancing and talking about each other online and how they going, To me, I see a lot of youth just dissing each other online, mainly due to the rap, music stuff.
Mhm.
But a lot of gaming, a lot of drug use, a lot of try to party,
Right.
a lot of them try to party and kick it, kick it and things like that. It's like a lot of youth now are like heavily involved in drugs and not just weed, and it's like you said, pills,
Right.
it's perks,
Psychiatric
Xans.
pills.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
crazy.
Perks, Xans, they smoking, they vaping, they doing anything to get high now. That's why a lot of them are dying. That's why fentanyl is killing a lot of youth because they're making the pill so colorful, and
Right.
and
Appeal
appealing
to
to
kids
them,
and stuff
and
like
it's killing the
yeah.
kids. Yep. So I hope that we get a hand on that because I lost some people to OD. I lost a couple kids that I knew that OD.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you process that?
How I process it, man. The crazy thing when I see what happened to my cousin like a year and a half ago, it was just like, damn, fentanyl got him too. Like you hear about fentanyl,
Right.
and then when it actually happened to like my cousin that looked up to me, like my younger cousin, it affected me, and that's the reason why I don't do a lot of stuff. I probably, drink occasionally and stuff like that, but I've seen a lot of just bad things happen. A lot of my uncles was, the crack epidemic hit them. Never, some of them couldn't get off.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just coping with stuff. I know what to do and not to do, and I don't want to see that happen to me.
Right. And that must be really hard, like you said, like dealing with the youth and trying to help them navigate that, and then being a resource, but then being a confidant. Like, I know sometimes them lines get blurred. I worked at a youth. I mean, I worked with youth before, and it was so stressful.
It is.
It was really stressful. I remember, like, because you have the law. You know what I'm saying? You have now you're a mandated reporter for certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, within that law, you also have your own morals. You get what I'm saying? You also have your own code. So I really commend you, because I know that with having such a big calling on your life and being a role model, I feel like that's a word that people often overuse or don't know where to use it at, like especially when it comes to like our culture. Like, you have a lot of people that be like, oh, okay, these rappers are role models. No, they're rappers. They're not role models. So I'm glad that you have taken on that title for yourself, because for what I see, that you are a good role model for the youth to have,
Thank you.
And that's very commendable. So you said that you do a little bit of, you're not a producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you must have been a rapper before.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Tell me about that. What was your rap name?
See, I only called it because I was one of them youth that was just really out there. So, so this is what I'll say about that. I was popping in the Bay Area. I was in the group. I was seen a lot, done a lot. And, and I had some friends from San Francisco I was connected with. So, I'm connected with San Francisco. So that scene, high school, and just rapping and learning how to do everything myself and shooting videos, got signed when I was 19 and things like that, be able to see that part brought me to where I am now, because without learning them things I learned early on and learning how to record myself, learning how to be self-sufficient, to working with labels and getting played out of money, and then learning how to register music through ASCAP and BMI. Like, I went through so much trouble and, learning curves that now I understand how to build a business. Like, I understand what youth want. I understand what they're missing, because it's like things that I didn't know growing up and how music, business worked. You would just sign the paper. I remember not even reading stuff, just signing my life away, signing stuff, and just taking deals, getting on the plane and not seeing no money. And they said, well, you signed this right here. So it's like, now I can talk to kids about, deals and being educated on stuff and doing your research. And as far as like the music scene, that's the reason why I love music, because it saved my life. It changed my life. Being able to express myself and use it as a tool, I'm able to help other people. So it's not like I'm gonna teach somebody and I'm not even an artist myself. You have to be. It's like you're a poet, right? So it's like, how you gonna teach people about poetry and you can't even write your own poetry, or you never wrote your own poetry? It doesn't make sense. A teacher could teach others because they taught themselves. And they're able to teach. So it's like each one teach one. So it's like, with this passion is music in my whole arm. I got music notes, and music is life. And, I got that 18, 19, 20. I think last time I got the tattoos, I was like 22, and I'm all tatted up. RP, my friend, he has to committed suicide, but he the one who, that's probably one last time I got tattoos, he did it. And of course I'm gonna get some new stuff, but yeah, he tatted me before he committed suicide. So that's a whole nother story. But yeah.
How do you stay grounded with all this pressure? Because it's like, okay, you have people like you got the youth going through this. You have, you know what I'm saying, like your little cousin that died. You, like, how do you stay grounded? And then too, how do you stay humble also? Because I'm like, you winning awards and all that kind of stuff. I think some people, they could get a little big headed, you know what I'm saying? Or even, I know with me or whatever, I have a thing where I'm like, told you so. Like, I try not to feel like that. But you get what I'm saying? I'm a human. And it'd be sometimes I'll be like, told you so, bitch.
Right.
So how do you like stay grounded?
So how I stay grounded, that's a good question. I stay grounded by looking at what's next. If you get caught in the moment, you'll be focused on your last one that you won, So I think that I'm always looking for what's next. And when I mean what's next, like, okay, thank you for this award, but now I got to do more. because you'll be stuck. That's like an artist winning a Grammy from the year before. It's like,
Right,
no,
right.
what you gonna do this year?
Right.
So it's like you said, it could be the told you so. But one thing I had to realize that you have to celebrate them small wins, because if you don't, ain't nobody gonna pat you on the back and say good job. You got to be able to say I did this, I'm proud of it, and I want more. I'm blessed, and you have to treat yourself. Nobody's gonna, like I said, clap their hands and pat you on the back.
Right.
So do celebrate yourself, but also look for what's next. What more can you contribute? Don't let that just be it. Do take your moment, do be proud of it, but look for what's next and how you can move. That's why I like watching the stories of successful people. Look at, like, for instance, let's look at somebody like Kevin Hart, right? All he knows is work, right? He's doing comedian stuff. He's doing movies, doing animation movies. All he does is look forward to the next project. He doesn't sit there and count what he did 2-3 years ago or
Right.
even last month. All he knows is that I'm gonna work as hard as I can. When it's all said and done, I can sit back, relax, and look at my accolade. All I know, because I watched something on him, and that's what gave me the idea. Because I was thinking, like, how the hell he know these movies? When did you get a chance to breathe? He was like, I get a chance to relax once I feel like I'm at my goal. Like, I don't count that as, oh, I need to stop. That's him, I need to do more, and I could do more. So he really pushes himself. That's why you see he's still on the streak he is now, even with the divorce thing, the scandal, and all the other stuff he went through. All he knows is work. So whether people think he's funny or not, his work ethic is crazy. He got a whole production that shoots movies. He got some. Once I looked into him, he got so much stuff going on. It's ridiculous. He's investing in a lot of things too, but that's a whole other thing. He actually bought Comic View too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see,
OG Comic View.
he bought it. He brought it back.
Hey, that
too.
was I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I'm not really Kevin Hart fan. Well, I'm not a fanatic or nothing, but
Oh, me either. I just his
Yeah.
work, but he's also behind a lot of TV shows too.
oh okay.
Whereas you see Heartbeat Production, that's him. So I didn't know that until I actually watched something on him. But yeah,
Will you ever get back into music
yeah.
as an
actually,
artist?
That's a good question. I'm thinking about it because I do have stuff that I ain't working on. I do, still do stuff off and on or with the kids. I really want to focus on this business because I feel like that'll be taken away from my mission and what I'm trying to do right now. I already did that part. I know what it's about. I made money, have my fair share. But now it's like when you become business minded, you don't always have to be in front of the mic.
Right.
Or to me, it's actually better to be behind the scenes because I can mold things how I want. I can work with youthful talent or people that's very talented and push my opinions and help them right. It's like being a great coach now. It's like, say for the Warriors, Steve Kerr. Yeah, he won rings with Michael Jordan. He got a ring, but he don't have to play basketball. The reason why the Warriors are so great is because he's behind the team. He understands greatness. He understands work ethic, right? So he can teach people that he learned back in the 90s and incorporate them skills to bring out people like the Warriors are on top of their game. They're back on top of their game now. It's been a while, but once you got good people behind you, you'll be able to build up. So I think that sometimes being a coach or taking a step back, can you can make a even more impact.
No, I feel you. So, what are some of your because you keep talking about other artists and stuff like that. Who's one of your favorite musicians, artists when it comes to music?
See, we can talk about genres and all that type of stuff, but
No, not just rap,
just rap. I want to say the
not just
person
rap.
that really stood out to me when we were to talk music, I wouldn't say Michael Jackson. The reason why I say somebody like Michael is because when I was younger, seeing Smooth Criminal, and that's the first time I was like trying to dance, and I thought like he was like some type of like magical character because I had the video game on Sega. I was like, he had the shiny glove, and to me, it was so
I forgot
catchy.
all about that.
You forgot all about that?
Yeah.
I had all that. I had the moonwalk, the LA Gears, the moonwalkers, and man, because I was like so caught up. Like the movie dropped. What was it the Jackson 5? I forgot the name of the movie, but I remember the movie dropping. I remember seeing all that when I was younger, and I was thinking like, this guy can do all these moves, and that's when I was trying to dance like him. And I don't see nobody really of that status since he passed. I mean, because it's like he was past like a superstar. He was like on a whole nother level. He was like on a god level. It's like Michael Jackson, like Thriller. Like you can go back to the 80s and see things he did, and it's like
Nobody still ain't
top.
held a candle to that. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. He's a genius when it comes to what he wants. He's himself, and even his music doesn't sound like anybody. Nobody sounds like Michael. Just like Prince. Nobody sounds like
I
Prince.
love Prince.
See, and people don't give Prince's credit, but Prince is another. He's bad too.
Yeah, no, I love Prince.
And musically, he can play any instrument. And he don't care. Prince is funny to me because it's like Prince is like, you think you can play an instrument? Give it to me. I'm getting producer credit. And I'm doing it. So to me, Prince figure out how to capitalize, how to make money. He gonna play everything and get his own money, and he gonna, he figured out, how to get his name on everything, including getting his name back and his masters. So that's pretty dope how he did that.
So Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson is one. That's one. That's like top one. I say that because he was able to, like I said, that's how my interest like really sparked. I remember, watching TV, MTV. Remember back then there's only a couple channels you watch cable. It was like for all them crazy, channels. You got 500 channels now. You can watch MTV, you can watch BET. We had
OG
the box,
CMC.
CMC.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Chewy Gomez on when
Chewy was on there. Yeah.
So, and that was played like a couple of videos, but I remember seeing, like I said, being able to see videos like that was like dang, like I feel like it was a whole nother world. Like, of course, I love rap, and like I said, I love Tupac, I love Mac Dre, I love some of the Bay Area classics, I love all that, Rock Wave, all that. But when it comes to like music, I remember Michael Jackson, like that was the first time I was like, I seen somebody gliding and moonwalking across stage and all this crazy stuff. I was like, who is this dude? Like, he can't be human. Like, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you see this stuff, you like, you mesmerized.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said, what about who's your favorite female artist?
Female artist?
Mm-hmm.
Female artist. See, let me see. Female artist. That's a good question. We talk about just period.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can name a lot of females.
I was thinking rap, but it could just be.
I don't know. I really love, let's say, the Whitney Houston, Anita Bakers, Mariah Carey. I love some of the greats. You know what I mean? When they come to rapping, I say. I love Lauryn Hill. I just don't love her attitude.
I love Lauryn Hill,
but as a person, I don't.
You met her, or you just? I
just meet her. I just hear all negative stuff about her, and I see some of the stuff. Like she's, of course, she got kind of crazy, But I seen a clip when she showed Double A to her show, and she was just like, "Y'all here for me? I don't care." Like she kind of was like, the crowd was like booing her and stuff. She came 2 hours late, and people came to see her, and then it was a story about somebody I knew that met her, and it was like, "Oh my God, Laura, can I take a picture?" She was like, "You want to take a picture with me?" And that's no.
Oh, so she was being rude.
Yeah, she was like, She's like, "No, who are you? Who are you?" They said, "Who are you to take a picture with me?" That's why I was like, "What?" They was like, "Yeah, I seen her at the restaurant," and I was just like, that's why I was confused. I was like, she's like, "Man," that was like, that's why I'm not even a fan. I love the music, but the person.
Right. But she ain't came out with nothing like.
Yeah, one album, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. But it's like her music, the X Factor, all that whole album is a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I don't know what happened. I really missed that type of music, that thing and all that type of stuff. Was like, to me, that was real artistry, that was real music. Mm-hmm. Her sound from rapping to singing to doing the doo-wop and bringing the poetry and then like that's so creative.
That was so dope. I think that's that was for me, especially being a female. It was like that. I ain't gonna lie, just period. That was one of the best albums, period. Like that transcended Tupac, that transcended everybody. Like to me, that album was still to this day, I've never heard nothing that even.
Because think about it, right?
Comes close.
No BBLs. She's not somebody people say, "Oh yeah, she's sexy. I want to have sex with her." Just like she's just a pure artistry. Like I love when it's just about the artist and not about now. You got to look this way. You gotta you gotta go under the knife. You gotta have breasts, big butt, and this and that. You gotta have sex appeal, basically. Mm-hmm. She was just herself, dreadlocks, herself, not really trying to look like this, and she was rapping about it, and she was talking about it. Hair for Europeans and nails that's Korean. Right. And she was saying this back in the 90s,
right?
And now it's like it's crazy. It's like nobody themselves. If you take up all the makeup off a female and all the plastic surgery, who are they? Right. Nothing. All these Instagram models and things like that. Why nobody can be themselves now? How come they think beauty is just on what's on the outside? Even though I'm sure it's good to look at, but it's like people get lost. Like when they actually like what you bring to the table, a lot of females like me. and dude got to work, got to make all this money, right? But you just bring beauty, right? Beauty fades over time, right? So it's just like, and they always talk about dudes broke and this and that, but a lot of these women live off of dudes. That's their money.
Where are these dudes that these women are living off of?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm in the Bay Area and I'm looking at the rent, I'm looking
They
at
out
housing
there.
market, and I'm like, okay, where are these guys that got this type of money? Because I was just, like I have friends right now and just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm looking at the houses and I'm looking at like even in the ghetto, like a 3-bedroom house is like damn near $1 million. So therefore I'm thinking like, I'm looking at eggs, I'm looking at milk, and I'm like, well, where are these guys that that has the money to even support a woman? Like, I don't know, this it's a really weird thing on the internet. It's like I don't know any females that are living off of a guy.
No, a lot of females living off God. They gotta find the right one. But the thing is not living off of God. What are they doing for that type of money? Because some of these dudes they living off and that's giving them money do have kids, are married, or some of them are just tricks. And some of them are all right. For instance, these girls that be going on these trips you see on Instagram, right? They with somebody. They're not taking a picture by themselves. They in the beach in the Bahamas somewhere. They in Cabo. They're not by themselves. They with some old guy. They got a retirement. They got good money. And they got to do some things. It's that simple. It's true. I mean, I go on vacation a lot, so I'll see an attractive young female with an older guy. You be like, and you can see him like, sometimes dudes be in their 60s, sometimes 70s. Like you can see they are older person. Like clearly that could be their daughter or something.
Granddaughter, right?
And you be like, they're on vacation together, and she just eating, taking stuff, picture. And you see it. You go to the beach, you go anywhere, and I start noticing like, oh. So these are the young girls that's probably never really been nowhere. And he take you to his timeshare or whatever the case may be, and they financing their trip and their lifestyle. I mean, they got the money. It don't really hurt them. But remember, when you get of age, it's always good to feel younger. So yeah.
So do you feel like your program will help like younger women like navigate away from that? Like, is that something? Like,
yes. Actually, we talked about Lauryn Hill. I actually got an assignment that I actually did about Lauryn Hill about how is rap music degrading females? Like, how's it making people view them? So if we look at people like the Sexy Reds, right, compared to like the Lauryn Hills, so we'll start seeing that this generation is really like crazy because now all they do is rap about sex and their body and what they can do to a dude, right? It's no more really self-empowerment. They don't want to hear that no more. So we talk about empowering themselves, and I ask them how they feel about it, and I ask them what direction you think that's doing to our youth, and and we get to have these discussions in class. So my class, when we had these sessions, we have real life conversations about for instance, bad girls, the baddies. All they do is fight on there. How come, especially in the black culture, how come when they got these shows, how come they always fight each other? How come it's not no real plot to the story?
Right.
Every scene you find somebody pulling out hair and calling each other the B word. Every single scene is about who fighting next. It's really no story. It's just no context. There's no substance.
Right.
There's no uplifting. It's nowadays. I don't know even. Can you name any positive shows that's out right now?
I'm gonna be 100 with you. The only thing I watch is like murder mysteries and makeup, Mr. Ballin, crime shows. Like other than that, I don't watch that.
See.
So therefore, I don't even know really. I have a 15-year-old, but she's not into that stuff. But then too, it's like I'm a real parent, so it's like I don't just let I provide critical thinking. And I've been doing that with my kid. And I feel like sometimes we put a little bit too much blame on the artist. It's like, shouldn't no kids be listening to Sexy Red without the proper, like context? Like, this is entertainment. She is not a role model. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like these are conversations that need to be had in a household so that when you are exposed to, like different things, it don't mean that you follow it, Right. Like, that's entertainment. You're supposed to be entertained. Like, that's not a role model. Like, okay, here's role models. This is what a role model is. And then two, you're supposed to use your mind to be able to navigate that. But I feel like that should be facilitated by the parent. I do think that, like when it comes down to music, especially women's music, you gotta think a lot of it's written by men. It's a male dominated industry. And I feel like just even being a female, it's like they put on women who they want to fuck. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's like, no diss to Ice Spice, but she sucks. You feeling you? That nigga's how much. Like, there's women that I see that have way more talent, but guess what? Like, they're not women that they want to fuck. So they'll put that in front. So I think that these women making money by any means necessary, I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at the Sexy Reds. I'm not mad at any of them for getting their money. You know what I'm saying? If I was put in a position, it was like, talk about some munch. I might just throw that ass in the circle too. But then I'm also, you know what I'm saying? I'm being real. And I feel like when people have these, like when they have interviews with these type of women, they probably not asking them like, okay, well, who told you should put that song out? Who was your producer? You know what I'm saying? Like these aren't women led things. And a lot of our consumers, they have a trick mentality. I feel like if we didn't have so much trick mentalities in American culture, we wouldn't have such a big culture because they're buying, you know what I'm saying, a woman as a sexual package.
Right.
So I think that we are craving, you know what I'm saying, like something different, but I feel like what you're doing is amazing because you're putting youth in a position to where they can't talk about that. They're giving mics, they're giving poetry as an outlet, and they're being redirected to where they can't talk about it. So they have to truly be creative. Right. You're not looking to fuck them. You're not looking to exploit them. So I feel like things that you're doing is essential within changing the cultural narrative and also imbuing the culture with like something else for us to grab to, Yeah. So, but I feel like the music industry is a male dominated industry. So it's like,
It is, and they selling sex. Like
yeah, they
said.
selling
So
pussy.
now when you a female artist, you have to have some type of
Sex
look
appeal.
good. You gotta have
Right.
some type of sex appeal, and then you gotta talk about it because they say because the thing is people are buying it,
Right.
so they're letting this notion of okay, you can't be a free spirited person no more. Nobody cares about that. You have to sell sex. You have to show. A more because like for instance, right, Glorilla, right?
I love Glorilla.
But she had to get her breasts done and look more appealing and all that time. You notice that she started looking more different. Like
the more appealing she looked, the more popular she got.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's like you start noticing that these artists come in and it's like they got to change their look. They got to enhance their bodies. They got they start getting their face, the lips bigger, and you start noticing that every female rapper got a lot of work done. We can talk about the Lottos, the Glorillas, the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's. I go on for a long time.
Right.
All of them got some type of they got to sell sex appeal.
Silkiana, what's her name?
Yeah, she got her lips done and all that type of stuff. BBLs and all that type and stuff she even talk about. So it's like, who's original? Even Lizzo losing weight now, And it's like she was the big girl that was proud, and look at her now. Like she's really, it is good to lose. She could have health issues.
Right.
So it's good she's losing weight, but I don't want to see Lizzo with a BBL.
So you just tired of pretty much like the women being pressured, you know what I'm saying, like to just change their looks to just be more appealing sexually.
No, it's just that's where rap is going to now, or music period. Like you don't just see like, for instance, Missy came out. Missy was big. She had the finger wave. She was herself.
Right.
A lot of artists was themselves back then. We can go back to
Eve was hella dope. Yeah,
Eve. She had the short blonde hair.
Right.
She wasn't considered a sex idol. Like the one she was just considered a dope spitter. Like,
she was
really raw.
She was a raw ass. She's raw. Eve had spits, like for real.
Yeah, and she was really raw. And then, for instance, right. We go back, like, the way rappers look, like Biggie. How could Biggie get so big? Look, he had the cocked eye, overweight, 400 pounds, Big Pun. All these people, like, that's when music was music. Now you got to look a certain way. You got to have all these chains on. You got to have all this jewelry. You got to be all this snap. But back then, it's like, yeah, they had aspects of that, but it was more about the artistry. It was more about the music. Like, that's why you got Biggie as one of the best storytellers of rapping. Big Pun can spit, go crazy. But it's just like, now you gotta look like a rapper. They want you to look like something before the actual talent. So it's not like telling them where it's like, do you look like this? Okay, that's why so much popcorn rap. I call it like everything is popcorn now. Like, okay, he got money, he got a bag, he look like this, or okay, we can play him.
Right.
So that's why I'm grateful for people like Kendrick and the J. Cole.
I love Kendrick.
Because Kendrick, look how he looking now. You don't see Kendrick with big crazy chains on this and that, but he go crazy. He'll tell you like he should have to show Drake, that just because I don't look like you or this and that, don't get it twisted. Like I disappear to take care of my family, but when I'm on your head, I'm still from Compton. Don't get it twisted. Like You know,
See, I think they in two. I would never, let's say for example, if I'm listening to Kendrick, like Drake ain't about to come next. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
right?
they in two different lanes. I feel like I could throw Kendrick on, like, let's say if I was listening to poetry or,
Exactly.
flowetry, and I could throw him up in there with real artistry. I feel
Right.
like Drake is
Party
entertaining.
entertainment. Yeah.
He's entertaining, but I don't think that I mean, not to take nothing away from your boy, but as far as me being a poet myself, I feel like I could have met Kendrick Lamar on E14 at like a art center, you know what I'm saying? Like really spitting them bars at an open mic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I like really going in. So for me, like I don't even see how that beef occurred. Cause they just
Well,
on
they was
two
throwing,
different
well, they was throwing
wavelengths.
shots. It started from throwing shots at each, Kendrick, Drake was throwing shots, and of course Kendrick, finally responded months later. But it's artistry. People want to go out the chair when you on top. That's
Yeah,
how
I
it
don't
go.
know. Cause what I'm saying is that I don't know. I feel like Drake, he's entertaining. He speaks to a different part of me, but you like Kendrick, like he's been one of my favorite rappers. Like I'm like, he raw. He's somebody where I could listen to and I could write a poem. I'll be inspired.
Hmm.
Like one of my favorite songs, what is it? He said, taking my baby to school, then I pray for it. I forgot what song it is.
That's a what's that line off that song?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Rich nigga.
Oh,
Broke
Rich
phone.
Spirit.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
fucking song. So
that's
that's
just
something I really
stop
would
playing
wake
with
up
me.
in the
Yeah.
morning slapping. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking for inspiration and speaking to my soul, when I'm getting, ready to, what I'm saying, take my baby to school, all the
Hmm.
shit, like fresh out the shower, you know what I'm saying, doing my makeup. I want something that's gonna lift up my spirit, and that's the type of music that I listen to in them type of times. So therefore, it's just like Drake. That nigga don't have access to my spirit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like them two different. I don't even feel like saying they names together even makes sense to me.
Well, one is pop, like more for pop culture, and one is like actually like real artistry. I mean, Drake can make music for people to dance and
Right.
getting their feelings a little bit. It's more, he doesn't really have like a pocket of music. That's why he does everything. Kendrick's like, I'm gonna drop when I want to drop, and when I drop, it's gonna be real music that resonates with me, and I don't care about everybody else.
Right.
You know.
Where would you like to see music go? Because with you having this organization, it's like you kind of cultivating the youth into a place. Like, what would be your greatest desire? Like, as far as you putting these seeds in the ground for a reason, not just like for them to be successful artists,
Hmm.
but like for the boys and the young girls or whatever. Like, where do you want to see this grow to?
So initially, I started seeing how music was actually helping the youth express themselves and
Mm,
stopping them from doing a lot of things. And basically, it was a teaching moment. It was them be able to use music as a coping mechanism.
mm,
So when they mad, when they upset, they know how to make songs. They know how to write songs. They know how to know what's the cadence. They
mm,
know how to write. It's 16 bars in the verse.
mm.
What's the bridge. So they know how to put all these things down on paper because you ask the youth, what's a bar? What's it? A lot of them don't even know. They know how to write
I do
music.
not know how to write a bar, but I'm a poet, so I feel like I could get away with it.
Yeah, well, a bar is just a line. You see that line in your paper is one line, and the 16 of those is 16 bars is a verse.
Mm.
So just like teaching them structure, it would be like MLA format or APA. Once you got the formula down,
Shout
on
out
how
to
to write.
MLA. What is
Yeah.
MLA?
So basically, when you write, when you write a
Write your
paper,
paper.
you got the introduction, you got the body, you
Right.
got the conclusion, and things like that. So
Hmm.
it's like music is the same way.
Right.
You got songs, they're formatted.
Hmm.
Sometimes they come on with a verse, and it's a hook, then it's a verse, and it's the bridge. So once you know the format of a song, that's how you make a hit. A lot of people think you can make a hit just by just doing anything. No, look at how songs were structured back in the day. It's always a hook. The hook means to catch you, which is a chorus. The hook means to hook you in, right? And then there's always a bridge to break it up a little bit, give it a different flavor. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's just about understanding these concepts and how to put it to place. But also, if you can't write a song, write poetry. I teach kids a lot of free form poetry. Write your thoughts, write how you feel. Then break it up. Start making it rhyme, make it make sense, and then use your voice as a tool. But also, when you write down things, you actually release, and it's actually a releasing mechanism that you've learned. So I do want to see is some artists I work with that's really dope. That is working with other people and that's doing stuff. So I just want to see them grow and be
Hmm.
able to be a part of that story. Like I said, each one teach one. I'm not really looking. Oh, something part of your label. You got signed for $1 million. Give me, you owe me. No,
Right.
I just want them to be able to get back and know what place they come from.
Okay. Could we bring up his website? Okay, it's more than music. I really like the format of your website. It's easy to read, it's inviting, it's stimulating. I know some people, their websites be all over the place. This is really a
Thank you.
great website. Okay, it's poetry, it's health,
Yep.
it's therapy, it's knowledge, it's mentorship, it's community. That's dope. I'm telling you, when I was going through your website, look at you.
Yep. Gotta keep it professional.
Okay. Let's see these awards.
Yeah, I got a whole award page. That's just a little
That's what's
example.
up. Congratulations on your new award you about to
Thank you.
get.
And that's the proclamation right there. So, it's just it's just doing the work and taking it serious. It's just working with the kids is something I love doing because I wish I had like the mentorship and the information that I had when I was younger. Excuse me. To create these programs, like for my mentorship program, I use it in my music therapy too. So just be able to I talk about real. So the most of these kids, they from a place, or since I work with academy kids, but in a way they all relate. Even whether they live in the suburbs, whether they live in the hood somewhere in Oakland or Frisco or wherever it may be, they all somehow see drug abuse. They all, just because people ain't shooting guns don't mean that they ain't popping pills and doing stuff,
Right.
over there. So when we talk about things they see in the household, how they was raised, or how things, affect them, you'd be surprised. Like I said, I'll be at some of these academy schools and they're dealing with some of the same things they're dealing with
In the ghetto,
in the
huh?
cities,
Yeah.
And it's really no different. Just because you got money don't mean you happy, or your parents got money, because guess what? The parents are never there. So they start saying I wish my dad was there. For instance, it was one youth. He had everything he wanted. His dad was a police officer. But he's like, my dad don't give a F about me. He don't care about me. He's saving everybody else but me. So I'm popping pills. I'm depressed. I'm going through stuff. My girlfriend committed suicide. He wasn't there. He always at work. So I started seeing a lot of this stuff is growing up, in inner city, you don't have money, things like that, but your parents might be there or they could be hooked. But then sometimes when you got to provide for your kids, you're living in these good communities, the parents are always at work. So it was yeah, you got what you need, but you don't got their parents. So I asked them parents the same way as asking parent in the hood, you know what I mean? So it's just you're still raising yourself. You don't have your parent to really teach you these things because, like you said, even though your dad's a police officer, you're saving everybody else but your own kid. So he's like, I don't like my dad. He never was there for me. And his dad's a police officer. That's what blew my mind. It's you serving the community, but you're not serving your family.
If there was something that you could say to the parents, just as I'm a parent and I'm a 15-year-old, she's about to be 16. What is some advice you would give to parents right now?
Always pay attention to your kids. Check out their phone, have them serious conversations with them, because it seems like a lot of youth don't get the opportunity to actually have these heart-to-heart conversations. The parents always judge them first rather than talk to them and just say, look, I'm not going to get mad. Just tell me what you got going on. Say, you got a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. Instead of being scared to talk about the birds and the bees, whether your daughter is having, I ain't saying that she is, but say she was having sex already, are you using condoms, or you got pills, who are you sleeping with? Because nowadays you don't know what kids are doing. Right. They can say they going to school. Are they really going to school?
Or they could be doing it at school.
They could be doing that, exactly. Doing that. That's what I'm saying. Are they going to school? Did they leave early? Did they doing this? Or are they in the because nowadays they can do any and every. I see them. I work at these schools.
Right.
And it's you never know what the youth are doing. No matter how much we guard them, no matter how much we think we know them, they on the internet, they on Instagram, they seen it exposed to a lot more things. And some of them are curious, and a lot of us, I'll say as parents, a lot of us think we know our kids, but we truly don't know them. If you really want to know your kids, have a relationship with them, talk to them, ask them how their day is going, take the time to spend with them. Even if it's you get off of work, you got to spend 20, 30 minutes talking to them, having dinner, they'll start opening up to you. They'll respect you more. Just don't just say, oh, because I pay the bills and I do this and blah, blah, blah. Kids don't care about that. They don't care about the responsibility. They care about the time you spend with them. Because when you pass, do you say, oh, I remember all the Jordan shoes they bought me and food they're going to say, no, I remember the times I had, the good times. And they're already going to remember the bad things. So you want to remember more good things than bad things.
Okay, so how do people keep in contact with you? Do you got a YouTube? Tell me everything.
Yeah, so how people keep in contact with me, you can follow me on Instagram at STU212. music. It's obviously on the bottom right here. You guys can see it. Instagram. You can look at my website. It's actually stew212music.org. And also I have a podcast slash live studio session. It's called Studio Therapy coming out. Should be dropping Tuesday or Wednesday. So
How do you find that though?
see, I'm dropping it now. This will be the first episode. So it should be under, I want to say, follow my Instagram and the link is gonna be out because I'm actually gonna, I'm in the midst of putting it out. I'm just getting everything in together, so it should be out by Tuesday or Wednesday. So it should be out. But from my website and my Instagram, please follow my Instagram if you guys want to see it. It's pretty dope. Had a dope artist on there. It's really a surprise. Something I've been working on since July. Finally in motion.
That's what's up. And I want to thank you for coming and sharing your experiences and all your achievements. And, God bless you. And thank you for sharing your stories and stuff like that with us. Oh, yeah. Thank you to my live listeners. You know what I'm saying? All my ghetto poets out there listening. You feel me? So I want everybody to stay safe, driving all in this rain. And all you people that's going to be out there in the Bay Area trying to do donuts because it's raining, be safe. But
Thanksgiving.
oh yeah, happy
Thanks.
Indigenous People Day. Shit. No, man,
Don't
fuck
eat a
Thanksgiving.
turkey, eat an indigenous
Man, I
person.
know. Happy Indigenous. Man, fuck that turkey. I just saw something that was saying that people was boinking the turkeys. You seen that shit? The brother ball turkeys?
Oh yeah, I know. Y'all seen that. Yeah.
Well, how do you
Man,
keep
fuck
it? How
that.
do you keep it moist then?
Oh, that was a good one, Paul.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I always smoke my turkey at Thanksgiving, but the little wings keep poking out of the papers when I try to roll it.
oh goodness. So go follow Stu
212
And that's-
music.
Oh yeah, that music part.
Yep.
And then 2, make sure you check it out. You got a way to donate to your organization or anything else like that?
Yeah, so my donations, and when you go to my website, it'll be donation at the corner of the website. And I just want to say I appreciate you bringing me on your platform, the Ghetto Poet. And I just want to say, this was a very much needed conversation, and I appreciate being here, the hospitality, being able to talk about a few things and be able to express myself, showing everybody that I use music as a way to build my organization, and I'm able to help others. And you wanting to interview me and reaching out, and I really appreciate that. You taking
Absolutely.
the time,
Power to the people.
get to know my story and bringing me on this nice rainy day. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Hope you guys are thankful for the things that go in your life, because people are passing at a tremendous rate and things are happening. And a lot of people ain't gonna make it to see this Thanksgiving. So enjoy time with your family and stay prayed up and stay blessed out there.
Yeah, happy gobble gobble, man.
You
I'm
singing
on my,
Thanksgiving.
I'm not saying that
Yeah,
shit, man. That shit fucked up. We really look at the
Right.
history is terrible, man.
Right. But
Enjoy the time off. You know what I'm saying? You getting for it. Fuck Columbus and power to the people. This is Bella Martrice, and I'm out. Peace.